We welcome you to Kapco Park on the Concordia University campus here in Mequon, Wisconsin. It's the 2013 Northern Athletics Conference Baseball Tournament Championship. It's 1 against 6 as the Concordia Chicago Cougars battle the Wisconsin Lutheran College Warriors. And we welcome you back on the shores of Lake Michigan alongside Kevin Winter, Matt Menzel on hand. The winner of this game, if it's Concordia Chicago, they will be your tournament champions. They will qualify for the NCAA Division III tournament. If Wisconsin Lutheran picks up the upset special, they will come right back here to Kapco Park, and these two will meet again tomorrow. Winner takes all at 10 a.m. Wisconsin Lutheran has won 20 games, a program record. They have lost 16. Concordia Chicago, they have tied the program record for wins with 35. They have lost just 5. They have won 13 consecutive, and they have won 25 of their last 27. The lone losses during that stretch to the Wisconsin Lutheran College Warriors. Checking out the batting order for Wisconsin Lutheran. Leading things off and playing second base is Garrick Day with Aaron Reisler, the shortstop, batting second, and Sam Mathies in right field hitting third. Brett Youngbeck is in left field. He bats cleanup with the catcher Tyler Shane. He is batting fifth. Batting sixth at first base, Doug Martin with Mitch Skarbin, the DH, in place of pitcher Jared Pfeiffer, batting seventh. Brandon Mance at third base bats eighth, and Connor Vredeveld in center field, he bats ninth. So once again for the Warriors under fifth-year head coach Dave Reineman, it is Day, Reisler, and Mathies, Youngbeck, Shane, and Martin, Skarbin, Mance, and Vredeveld. And for the Concordia Chicago Cougars, leading things off and playing right field, Joe Moran with Sean Miller in center field batting second, and Thomas Gear. He's the DH batting third in place of pitcher Ryan Thorson. Derek Benninger at first base bats cleanup with Kyle Huber in left field batting fifth. Robert Weiss, the shortstop, he bats sixth, batting seventh and catching Will Randerson with Rich Santarelli at second base batting eighth, and Steve Zubricki, the third baseman, hitting ninth. Once again for the Cougars under their third-year head coach, Adam Smith. It's Moran, Miller, and Gear, Benninger, Huber, and Weiss, Randerson, Santarelli, and Zubricki. Defensively, as Concordia Chicago takes to the field, Kyle Huber, Sean Miller, and Joe Moran, your outfield from left to right. And we did see earlier in the day an injury to Dan LaDolce, and so he is not in the starting nine here for this championship game. Steve Zubricki, Robert Weiss, Rich Santarelli, and Derek Benninger from third to first, and Will Randerson catching Ryan Thorson. So Thorson, your starter, the southpaw, is 6 foot 185, a junior from the land of Lincoln. And so he will take the baseball for Concordia Chicago, and so far on the 2013 season, he has 2 victories and no defeats. It's been his 8th appearance, 8th start with a 2.91 ERA. He has thrown 34 innings, have allowed 15 runs, 11 earned on 36 hits. He has struck out 22. He has walked 13, and the opposition is batting .275 against. So as we get set to get this championship game underway, Wisconsin Lutheran sweeping Concordia Chicago during the course of the regular season, snapping an 8-game losing streak to the Cougars, but Concordia Chicago able to knock off Wisconsin Lutheran and open up this conference tournament on Thursday, 6-3. Garrick Day will lead things off against Ryan Thorson, and championship game is underway with the first pitch at 4:30 p.m. So strike one taken by Garrick Day. Kevin Worth is behind home plate. Bob Jenkins over at first base. And Mike McGloon over at third. A base hit up the middle for Garrick Day. So the Warriors pick it up where they left off, coming off the 5-1 victory against Benedictine moments ago in a game that lasted 2 hours and 4 minutes. Garrick Day had 3 hits. He was 3 for 4 in that game. Part of a 9-hit performance for the Warriors, who scored 3 in the third, added 2 more insurance runs in the 6th inning en route to the 4-run W. Able to fight off elimination now 3 times to get to this championship game for the first time in program history, at least in the Northern Athletics Conference, in their first ever NAC tournament appearance. So Aaron Raisler into the right batter's box. The first time that Wisconsin Lutheran has been in a conference tournament championship game since 2002. What a catch made by Will Randerson. Quick reflexes, able to turn around and make the basket catch. And Raisler retired for the first out. Trying to sacrifice bunt Day over to second base. Off the top of the bat, and Randerson retiring Raisler, and it brings up Sam Mathies. Now Wisconsin Lutheran last in a conference tournament championship game back in the Lake Michigan Conference in 2002. They beat Lakeland College once, forced a winner-takes-all championship game that would see Lakeland ended up prevailing. Otherwise, only one tournament victory for the Warriors between then and now 2013. A ball taken low and inside to Sam Mathies. Mentioned already, the Warriors, they have surpassed the program's record for wins in the season. It was at 19, accomplished in 2011. They've won 20 games this year, and counting perhaps. As Day back to first base. Mathies. He's ahead 1 no strikes. Runner goes, strike taken, and a take to second base for Garrick Day. And for Mathies, he is batting .350, 43 for 123 with 22 runs batted in. As Day records his successful stolen base 27, that's a team best for a Wisconsin Lutheran team that leads the conference with now 110 stolen bases out of 133 tries. So Day in scoring position. Next pitch to Mathies. Taken for a strike. And the count now 1-2. Against Benedictine, Mathies would pick up 1 hit and 4 at bats, but it was a big one in the third inning, that 3-run third, as he picked up an RBI single and eventually came around to score on a base hit by Brett Youngbeck. The 1-2, and a grounder to short. Robert Weiss retires Mathies with Garrick Day moving to third base. So 2 down, the Warriors knocking on the door 90 feet away, and Youngbeck the batter. Already with 1 RBI this day for Youngbeck. He now has 28 on the year. That is tops on the Warrior active roster as he plays in his 35th ball game. His batting average up to .278. And the lefty falls behind 0-1. So far in the NAC tournament, Youngbeck has recorded 6 RBIs to lead the way. Next best 3 recorded by Sam Mathies. That Youngbeck is batting .294 in 4 tournament ball games. Counting it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. One of those RBIs came against Concordia Chicago on Thursday morning. A ball taken, count now at 2-1. So the tournament beginning and now ending the same way with a Wisconsin Lutheran Concordia Chicago matchup. The 2-1 lifted to left. Oncoming is Kyle Huber. He gives away, the ball put away by Robert Weiss, the shortstop. And the Warriors retired. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, and Garrick Day is stranded 90 feet away. Middle 1, the Warriors nothing with Concordia Chicago coming up. To the bottom of the first inning, Wisconsin Lutheran's defense out of the field with Brett Youngbeck, Connor Vredeveld, and Sam Mathies from left to right field. Brandon Mance, Aaron Raisler, Garrick Day, and Doug Martin from third to first. Tyler Shade is catching Jared Pfeiffer, the starting right-hander. So Pfeiffer getting the nod here in the second Warrior game of the day. He is 5'10", 160, a freshman right-hander out of Lakeside Lutheran High School, Cambridge, Wisconsin. And on the year, no record, this being his 5th appearance and his first start. He has a 5.40 ERA. He's only pitched 8 1/3 innings, having allowed 8 runs, 5 earned on 15 hits, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, and the opposition is batting .405 against. With this being Game 5 for the Warriors in all over the course of 3 days, the thought is that this will be a pitching by committee, a pitching inning by inning type scenario for Coach Reineman after he got the most out of the starters he is typically used throughout the course of the season with 3 complete games, including the latest that was delivered in our last game. That by Joey Hotkowitz. But he's gotten 3 starters to go the distance. He's only had to go to the bullpen on 1 occasion. That came against Concordia Chicago on Thursday. And in that case, again, it was Hotkowitz who relieved Jamie Powman. But now you see Pfeiffer make his first start of the year in the conference tournament championship game. So they're going to be relying on quite a few arms to perhaps get the Warriors through this one, as they face a Cougar offense that came into the day with a .286 collective batting average in 2 tournament games. Joe Moran, Sean Miller, and Thomas Gear leading things off for the Cougars. Their average up to .290 following their earlier game today against Benedictine, as Joe Moran falls behind 0-1. That was an 8-6 victory for the Cougars to get this Saturday underway. And a ball inside, counting it up at 1-1. And for Pfeiffer, pitching for the first time since facing the Milwaukee Panthers earlier this week. A ball up and in. He lasted 2 innings, allowing 2 runs, neither earned, on 3 hits. A no decision in the 15-1 loss to the Panthers. No strikeouts and a walk in that pitching performance. Another ball that misses, counting now at 3-1. He also pitched an inning against Benedictine back on the 28th of April. First time he has faced Concordia Chicago. On the strike call, the count runs full at 3-2. Sean Miller waits on deck. We are just underway here in the first of possibly 2 championship meetings between Concordia Chicago and Wisconsin Lutheran. And a walk to Joe Miranda. Get the bottom of the first started. And it brings up the center fielder, Sean Miller. Longest outing so far for Jared Pfeiffer has been 3 innings. That was at Aurora, 18-7. The Warriors lost back on the 21st of April. So we talk about a pitching by committee relying on that bullpen. Give or take 2-3 innings perhaps for Pfeiffer, and again, 3 is a season high. Bunt being shown, bat brought back by Sean Miller. So far in the tournament, his average at .273 in 3 games played. As Concordia Chicago, not only did they knock off Wisconsin Lutheran, but able to take care of Rockford along with Benedictine. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball sent out of play. Counting it up at 1-1. Concordia Chicago back in the tournament championship game for the 6th time in 6 NAC tournament appearances, but they have 1 tournament championship. Looking for number 2, trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the 2nd consecutive year and the 3rd time in 5 years, receiving an at-large a year ago. Throw to first, and back goes Moran. The lone tournament championship for Concordia Chicago was in 2009. A number 1 seed knocking off number 3 Aurora 12-6. Otherwise, each of the last 2 years, a runner-up to Aurora. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moran taking off from first. On the throw, that's going to hop late from Tyler Shane over to Garrick Day. And a steal of second base for Joe Moran. And Moran coming through with stolen base, 16. That leads all Cougars. So he is in scoring position. Focus back in on Sean Miller. He's been hitting the ball awfully well throughout his time with the Cougars. And on the year, now batting .354 as he plays in his 41st game. 2-1 the count. Lifted to right. Matthijs will put it away. Tagging from second, Joe Moran. He's going to reach third base after he nearly overslid the third base bag. Boy, did he take off on the slip and slide beyond third, but able to reach out there and keep a hand on that bag. Ran down 90 feet away with one down after the fly out by Sean Miller. And it brings up the DH, Thomas Gear. He's been hitting the ball at an average of 303 tournament games. So far in the NAC tournament, he has gone 3 of 10 with 1 run batted in. He has come around to score twice. His overall batting average up to 387. And he'll take a ball from Jared Pfeiffer. Gear in Thursday's ball game would go 0 for 2 with a walk against Wisconsin Lutheran pitching. Another ball that missed, counted 2-0. Again, Concordia Chicago at 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They would leave a total of 6 on base. Wisconsin Lutheran had 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and 4 left on base in the tournament opener. That game was scoreless going into the 4th inning before Concordia Chicago scored 3 in the 4th, added 1 in the 5th. Wisconsin Lutheran got as close as 4-3 before Concordia Chicago responded with a 2-spot of their own in their half of the 6th inning. On 4 consecutive pitches, Thomas Gear draws the walk. So a couple of walks now for the Cougars. Runners at the corner with 1 down, and Derek Benninger into the batter's box. In the first game against Benedictine, Benninger able to reach base every time he found himself in that right batter's box. He would walk 2 times. One of those was an intentional walk. He would single twice. He would double. He'd come around to score on 2 separate occasions among the 8 runs put up on the board by the Cougars. Warriors open to turn 2. Benninger. First pitch, he sends foul to right. But Concordia Chicago coming in. Hard team to get the run into double plays. Besides the DPs, this is also a team that does not strike out very often. They came into the tournament with the fewest strikeouts in the conference with 132. And the second best offense behind only Benedictine from a batting average standpoint. After Concordia Chicago put together the second best batting average in the entire nation a year ago. 0-1. That becomes 0-2. Derek Benninger at .333 for the tournament. Hitting .359 on the season, now playing in his 41st ball game. This game, 41 for Concordia Chicago, game 37 for Wisconsin Lutheran. Signs and defensive formation and knick-knack paddywhack from Tyler Shane as he makes his way back behind home plate. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 on and 1 out. Bottom of the 1st and scoreless. And a ball up high, runs the count now to a ball and 2 strikes. 17 pitches, only 6 have been strikes so far for Jared Pfeiffer. He comes set, and the 1-2. Lifted out of play, first base, right field side. Sun shining once again. The area hampered by a shower or 2 right before the end of that last game. Going into this game, we did have a rain delay of 22 minutes to start the day. in the middle of that Benedictine-Concordia-Chicago matchup. 1-2 the count. Bittinger to center. Radevel coming out. Head falls off. Ball bounces in front of him. In the score from third is Joel Moran. To second base goes Thomas Gear. And Concordia-Chicago takes a 1-0 lead with one down here in the bottom of the first inning. Derek Bittinger with a base hit. Connor Radevel came storming in, lost his cap and all, but that ball bouncing well in front of him and then having to adjust to the high hop off the turf. And Moran able to score after he walked and stole a base. There's the first hit of the ball game for the Cougars, and Thomas Gear now your lead runner at second base. Kyle Huber in the left batter's box. He'll stay in there and take ball one. Some fans still filing in Kapco Park. You have your Concordia-Chicago faithful, and for the Wisconsin Lutheran folks, texting and calling anybody in and around the area to come on out here. What has been quite a story thus far for the Warriors. As Youngbeck able to put it away, a little bit tougher to make that phone call down to Concordia-Chicago or the Chicagoland area and get up here quickly, but for the Warriors, again able to fight off elimination not once, not twice, but three times to become only the second Wisconsin team ever to be part of the NAC Tournament Championship. Otherwise, it has been all Illinois throughout and throughout. Never has a Wisconsin team won the tournament championship. Edgewood came close back in 2010 to the tune of 13-3. That's the closest a Wisconsin team has been to winning the tournament championship. That is the number one seed. Ball out of play beyond the bullpen right field side. No balls and a strike with a couple of outs. Gear at second base with Bittinger at first. Here comes pitch 23 for Jared Pfeiffer. This is to Robert Weiss, who's been impressive throughout the 3 days. To short. Raisler underhand flips over to Garrick Day for the force. 6-4 for round number 3. Minimal damage done as Concordia-Chicago scores one. They pick up just one hit. They benefit from a couple of walks. No errors and two left on after one. 1-0 Concordia-Chicago. Wind picking back up, blowing hard out to right field. As we go to the top of the second, a 1-0 lead for Concordia-Chicago. And now Ryan Thorson to face Tyler Shane, Doug Martin, and Mitch Scarbin, the DH. Thorson, he misses upstairs for ball one. He's facing the Warriors for the first time. He has pitched. There's a swing and miss. He has not pitched longer than 4 innings since a 5-inning outing at Benedictine during the opening conference series back on March 30th. On the outside, and count now at 2-1. He pitched 4 innings against MSOE this past weekend, and before that he faced Concordia, Wisconsin, lasted 3. Also pitched 4 against Lakeland College back on the 7th of April. Whoa. A foul ball off the netting next door to the Concordia-Chicago first base dugout. And the count even up at 2-2. Warriors making noise in the first inning as well. They left the runner at third base. But stranded 90 feet away was Garrett Day after he would steal second base. Led off that inning with a single before 3 straight outs recorded by Thorson and the Cougar defense. Payoff pitch. Lifted to center. Oncoming is Sean Miller. And going back, falling down, going head over heels, losing his ball cap and making the catch. Rich Santarelli, the second baseman. That retires Tyler Shane. One down here in the top of the second. Concordia Chicago in front, 1-0. Boy, nice catch made by Santarelli after Miller had a beat on it, as did Joe Moran. And then Santarelli head over heels, able to bring it in, losing the ball cap, picking it back up, making the catch, and retiring Tyler Shane. And so now Doug Martin, he falls behind 0-1. We have that low strike, the karate chop by home plate umpire Kevin Worth. As the 0-1, comebacker off the glove of Thorson. And Santarelli trying to recover on the hustle. Not in time. Doug Martin able to beat it out. He was slowed up after deflected off the glove of Thorson. Santarelli did his best to hustle the throw over to Derek Benninger, but Martin able to beat it out by way of an infield single. And with 1 on and 1 out, here's Mitch Skarbin. He has played a little bit here in the NAC tournament for the Warriors. Skarbin now playing his 22nd game, hitting .276. He has recorded 16 hits and 58 at-bats, with 7 runs batted in. This being his 3rd NAC tournament game appearance. And so far he is 0 for 6. He is 1 of 2 without a hit so far in the NAC tournament that have played for the Warriors. The other, the man winning on deck, Brandon Mance. In foul territory, but that one's going to find the seats instead.
Come on, Carl. You should have had that.
Yeah, Mance finds himself 0 for 13 in the NAC tournament. 1 ball and a strike with Skarbin. He's batting in place of Jared Pfeiffer. Ryan Thorson, he has thrown 21 pitches, 14 have been strikes. As Doug Martin gets his lead off of first. And the pitch missing downstairs for ball 2. Boy, the Warriors began the year 5-1. Got off to a nice start, one of the few teams in the NAC had success during spring break. 5-4 on the... Oh, well, it's going to be a fielder's choice, but the relay just nicked in time over to Derek Benninger. Steve Zubricki to Rich Santarelli to Derek Benninger for the inning-ending 5-4-3 double play. How about that for a inning-ending DP for the Cougar defense? Looked like that relay throw is going to be late, but yet Derek Benninger able to bring it in, and that will do it for the top of the second. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on. Middle of 2, it's 1-0, Concordia, Chicago.
I didn't know. I just did the price like .com. They put the best price. Yeah. How about it? Well, next week, did you see the forecast for next week? Is there really? Yeah. White water, right? Yeah, when he came up here Thursday, he left like an hour before Matt left for school, and I'm like, I had to get him off on the bus. I'm like, so I couldn't come Thursday. So, but he missed so much school this year because he had the flu and stuff. So I'm like, I'll wait till.
Our coverage of the 2013 NAC Baseball Tournament is brought to you in part by Taco Bell. Taco Bell, located in Mequon, is a proud sponsor of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics. When you're at Taco Bell, remember to live Moss. I was living Moss until my pizza found the garbage. Eating good here in the press box this weekend at Kapco Park. We thank Concordia, Wisconsin, doing a great job. They put this tournament on and hosting for the first time in this year number 2 of Kapco Park. But the first year it's been completely built and ready to be played and used for conference tournament action. 1 ball and no strikes, with Will Randerson leading things off for Concordia. Chicago ball lifted up, and that will leave the confines of Kapco Park and deflect off the bleachers over at Fitting Field, the soccer lacrosse venue here on campus. Pretty good crowd that has battled the cold temperatures, the rain, the wind over the last 3 days. Randerson, this to right center, and again losing his hat, and that's a miscommunication between Connor Vredeveld and Sam Mathies. All the way to third base goes Randerson. Oh, was that a woulda, coulda, shoulda? Mathies had a beat on it, lost his hat. Typically, though, they say on fly balls, you give way to your center fielder. In this case, Vredeveld and Mathies crisscross. Ball landed between the pair, and over to third base goes Randerson to start this bottom of the second. Ball was never touched, and a triple for the Cougar catcher. Randerson picking up his first triple of the season. That's the 8th for the Cougars. Lifted out of play by Rich Santarelli. Oh, was that a woulda, coulda, shoulda, and instead a backbreaker here if the Cougars can capitalize on an opportunity to really put together a productive first, but managed just one after a couple of walks issued by Pfeiffer. And a ball down low evens things up at 1-1. So Santarelli in the starting 9 after he came in for defensive purposes following an injury in the first game of the day for the Cougars. Santarelli will lift it out of play.
Hey, right on it, kid. Here we go.
Hitting .258, 40th game now. He's 32 of 124 with 13 runs batted in. Looking for 14. It's 90 feet away with Will Randerson. The 1-2. And charging Raisler. And a 6-3 groundout retires Santarelli. Randerson stays put.
Come on, Steve.
One down for Steve Zubricki. No, Kapco Park. Potentially the home of this NAC tournament for a couple of years to come, but last year at Fond du Lac up at Marian University. And there's a called strike to Zubricki.
Come on, Steve.
But again, a great job by all on campus to help make this event possible here this weekend. Been a smooth running operation. Here's the 0-1. That is sent out of play right field side. You factor the weather delays, postponements, the domino effect of games. But here we are, game number 10, 5 o'clock. Not bad at all when you factor that, again, one game was completely wiped off the schedule on Thursday. The 0-2, that's off the fence in front of the Cougar first base dugout. Any other venue in this conference is a lot further behind than what we are here at Kapco Park. And again, that's thanks in large part to this field turf with the pitcher's mound, the only dirt you really have to worry about outside of some of the dirt you have in the respective bullpens. You look at some of the showers that passed through the area on Thursday, and I'm not so sure even on Friday morning anybody's field would have been playable in time, at least to get but a couple of games in. A ball that misses count goes to 1-2. I mean, for years, this tournament at Rockford College, or at least in Loves Park, hosted either by Rockford College or Edgewood College hosting in that area. But luckily, from a weather standpoint, there really haven't been a number of big-time issues throughout the course of history, but there have been a couple that have seen venues switch. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs in the count, even up here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, just a couple of years ago, you had one of those instances in which the tournament was supposed to be at Rockford, but ended up having to be moved. Grounded to third on the diving stab. Mance is going to go to first. Nice play in the score. Will Randerson, as Wisconsin Lutheran trades the run for the out. Zubricki retired 5-3. Picks up an RBI. And Concordia Chicago with a 2-0 lead. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. I'm just trying to think. Back in 2011, hosted in Loves Park, Illinois. And the tournament was moved to the combo of Benedictine and Aurora having a host. And the tournament dropped down to a couple of days, but then again, you only had 4 teams back in the day. Kind of ball and no strikes now to Joe Moran. There hasn't been a real big issue weather-wise as far as this tournament goes, not since the days of the Lake Michigan Conference when back in 2006, lovely Wildwood Park in Sheboygan became from a double elimination format to a single elimination one-day event. Dominican won that championship. Gap shot left center field. That's cut off on the backhand by Vredevel, but on the way to second base and standing is Joe Moran. He picks up a double. And so there's the second extra base hit of the inning for the Cougars. And it extends this bottom of the second for Sean Miller. Miller is 0 for 1. He flew out to right. First out back in the first inning. Now, 2006, they changed that format to a single elimination. Number 4 seed ended up winning it all. Dominican over number 2 Marion. After Dominican upset number 1 Edgewood College that season. Miller taking ball 1. Only other instance I can think of is back in 1990. The Lake Michigan Conference tournament was completely rained out until the regular season champ crowned the overall champ. And even though weather had been an issue at times through the last 3 days, again, everything right on track here. And it has turned out to be a great duration to the tournament with the sun finally making an appearance. Over at second base, Joe Moran. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down. Pfeiffer about to throw his 43rd pitch, and this is well struck to left. Youngbeck going back, slowing down, looking up, and putting the baseball away. Chest tie for out number 3. Concordia Chicago scores 1 run. They pick up 2 hits, a triple and a double. No errors and a runner left on. Through 2, it's 2-0 Concordia Chicago. Our coverage of the 2013 NAC baseball tournament is brought to you in part by ProGrass Synthetic Turf, the official turf provider for Concordia, Wisconsin athletics. ProGrass, first in turf. Concordia Chicago leading Wisconsin Lutheran 2-0 as we move to the top of the third for the play-by-play innings number 3 and 4. We welcome in Kevin Winter.
Thank you very much. Matt Menzel, Brandon Mans, Connor Bradebeld, and Garrick Day. 8, 9, and 1 for Wisconsin Lutheran here in the inning. Bouncer back up the middle off the glove of Thorson. Throw from short by Rice is in time. Great stretch by manager over at first base. So if you're scoring at home, that was a 1-6-3 put out after it went off the glove of Ryan Thorson, the pitcher. Here's Connor Bradebell. There's a strike on the outside corner. Here comes the 0-1 pitch in the dirt and stopped by Randerson. Bredebeld, the last time these two teams got together, had 3 hits. Swing and a miss. That was back on Thursday. Gun is 1 and 2 on him now. Here it is. Swinging a hopper to third and foul fielded by Zabricki over there at third. There is 1 down here in the top of the 3rd inning. Wisconsin, Lutheran, and Concordia Chicago. Concordia Chicago in front. A score of 2-0. And this 1 versus 6 matchup. There's a ball off the outside corner to Bredebeld. Count even up now at 2 and 2.
We were nervous we weren't going to make it because we left the house.
Here comes the 2-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Bredebeld backed up a few steps, but it was a good pitch. Froze him. And Bredebeld is punched out. First punch out for Thorson this afternoon. And back to the top of the order we go now in Garrick Day. Garrick Day singled and stole a base his first time. He takes a strike. It is 0-1. And the next delivery to him flutters off the outside corner. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Inside missing and blocked by Randerson back there. Thorson ready, here it is. Inside corner again, been working that corner of the dish effectively. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Garrick Day waiting, here it is. And he lines one to left. That ball is going to be tracked down by Kyle Huber. Back a few steps. And the Warriors are turned away, 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd. We go to the bottom half. Concordia Chicago 2, Wisconsin Lutheran 0.
Personalized travel and tours, the official transportation partner of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics.
And he had to travel for work this week, and he missed 1 day for Matt's game for traveling, and then he missed the other day for watching you guys here on Thursday. Right.
Well, that's what they called it. A rare and mysterious screening monkey workout.
I had to go to Oshkosh. So I couldn't get working
But then Matt's team lost.
Bottom of the 3rd inning. About to commence. Concordia Chicago has the lead at 2-0. Thomas Gear will be the first man to face Jared Pfeiffer back to work for his 3rd inning. There's a ball off the outside corner. Concordia Chicago has put up single tallies in the 1st and 2nd. Here it is. Swing and a drive to right and deep. That ball is foul. Just foul. That ball was absolutely hammered. Out here in right field, you have the bullpens. Then you have to the extreme right The Environmental Center building, which just was erected a few years ago, that is across the parking lot road. That ball landed just short of the Environmental Center building. Wow. But it was foul. And the next pitch is missing. Ball 2. Count is now 2-1 on Thomas Gear. Fans buzzing about that one. He swings and skies one to center. Fredebeld there. And he's retired for the first out here in the bottom of the third. Here is Derek Bittinger, the batter. Bittinger has an RBI today. He flies one to center, and coming in is Bredebeld. He'll play it on a hop. That's going to be a base hit. Second hit for Bittinger today. Here's Kyle Huber with one down here in the bottom of the third. 2-0 Concordia Chicago in front. That one's up high. Coming out of the crouch is Tyler Shane to go get that one. Bittinger had taken a few extra steps off that first base bag. Pfeiffer going to take a look at him. Comes set. The pitch is in there for a strike. Good pitch at the knees. And the count is even at 1-1. Here's the 1-1. One missing a tad low, 2-1. Here comes Pfeiffer, and he'll step off.
Is it Doug Matthews? Doug Matthews.
As he and Shane trying to get together on a few signs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. The off-speed pitch has Huber out in front.
The shadow is funny because Richie asked me
Count now even up at 2-2.
like, you know, that's right by us. I drove him home, and then one of the home games a few weeks ago, I was talking to his mom while he was there. They were like almost pretty sure.
Pfeiffer ready again. Here it is.
I don't even know how they
Swinging a slow roller, first base side. The only play will be to first. Martin takes it unassisted. In the process, Bittinger moves from first to second. Here's Robert Weiss with a runner in scoring position, and now 2 down. He grounded out with 2 out, or I should say 2 on. His last plate appearance made the final out in the 1-run first inning. And he lines one to third, heads up over there. The laser hit to third, nearly took down the Concordia, Wisconsin, or I should say Concordia, Chicago third base coach. And the 0-1 pitch is on the inside corner for a strike, count even at 1-1.
nobody's sitting behind the wind's blowing. It's hurting my hair. You can see on my hair. I didn't have time to color my hair. I was just rage hard in
The 1-1 on the way in the dirt and stopped by Shane.
Well, I was going to color my hair and then
Will Anderson waiting on deck. Runner at second and 2 out. 2-0. Concordia Chicago in front. Have picked up runs in each of the first 2 innings.
Yeah, we didn't slip together.
The 2-1 is swung on, hit slowly to short. Raisler fields, throws across in time. And Bittinger is left in scoring position after he picked up the only hit of the inning. Concordia Chicago does not score in the third. We move to the fourth. They lead it 2-0.
And so, yeah, she was gonna go. But she stayed for the first game.
Yeah, I told Rich, I'm like, and granted, I mean, same thing with the other boys. I haven't been able to make that many.
And I saw him come on. I call. I go. I know that was a sort of a bonehead play to chase him down and all that. Bro, but once you commit, you commit. So I figured, man, he had a couple 3 arm hits. Why would you do that on him? And I go. He goes, well, it's sort of my game, but it was his I'm a pretty good. It wasn't for the. And then I'm like, okay.
He's like, if
So I'm like,
he asks me the right question, I'll give you the right answer, but I can't come out and say it.
Okay, what happened to you? Well, the sunglasses broke on that guy, and he cut his ear. He's in the emergency
Well, we had to make arrangements for somebody to watch the dog.
all the stuff. So we grabbed Amy on the way, and we didn't get up here until like 6:30.
Top of the fourth inning is about ready to start. Concordia University Chicago leading 2-0 over Wisconsin Lutheran. The Warriors coming to take their hacks against Ryan Thorson,
I couldn't pull up the email.
who deals the ball off the outside corner so far for Thorson. 3 innings, 2 hits, and 1 strikeout. Raisler takes a strike. Count is even at 1-1. It'll be Raisler, Matthijs, and Youngbeck. 2, 3, 4 for the Warriors.
We got the room for really cheap.
Here comes the 1-1.
We wouldn't
Swinging a
have
fly ball, right center, now drifting into right field, and making the catch is Joe Moran.
You know, and then we're like, oh yeah, 17 stitches. We're like, holy crap, this is the worst thing we got.
Here comes Sam Matthijs. He is 0 for 1 on the day.
Is it like a clean stitch?
I guess it's the classic surgeon looked at it.
Okay.
First pitch to him is in there for a strike. And if Concordia Chicago wins this ball game, they will be declared the 2013 Northern Athletics Conference champions for the tournament. Swinging a pop up, first base side. Bittinger puts it away. And there's 2 up and 2 down.
Now, Heather, my dad has the same island.
If Wisconsin Lutheran wins, we will come on back tomorrow, morning bright and early, for some Mother's Day baseball, 10 a.m. start. Brett Youngbeck, the batter. There's a strike. Concordia Chicago in front, 2-0 with 2 down here in the fourth. Here it is. Bouncer, first base side and through, past the dive of Bittinger. That one is cut off by Moran, and Youngbeck has another single. That will bring to the plate Tyler Shane. Youngbeck picking up the 3rd hit of the afternoon so far for the Warriors. Concordia Chicago has 2 runs on 4. And the first pitch to him is in there for a strike. Off speed in there for a strike from Thorson. It's 0-2, 2 down. Tyler Shane the batter, Brett Youngbeck at first. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Thorson. And the Warriors pick up a hit, leave a runner. We've played 3.5 from Kapco Park. 2-0 Concordia Chicago.
Cam's in the dugout. Cam's in the dugout. Yep.
So this side of the field, they're all celebrating like they wanted.
I saw his dad and I thought, well, that's like this. And then I just saw him. He's wearing jeans. I'm like, who thinks they're not wearing jeans? Last year. It was the center fielder last year.
I mean, I'm watching it on the computer and I go, and the announcers are
Oh,
going nuts.
yeah, was he left field or right?
I don't remember.
He took over for Weiss Club this year at Constance Club. And he had to jump up.
We're talking about he played in the outfield.
Did Steve get a mohawk? No.
Like,
No, his hair is actually long right now.
Is it? Okay.
he said he was thinking about that. He said, yeah, it's about
Right, but now that he's got, his ear issue.
Right, right.
So I don't think he wants anybody messing around.
Yeah, they'll probably figure out they'll put a foot forward and bend his ear.
Didn't you cut Richie's ear before when you were cutting his hair? Yeah.
Well, they get in the way.
Yeah, he looks like a chia pet.
So like, I'll give you a buzz, So I was
He's
like
in the
trying to
garage.
trim those dark out. I tried to, and I trimmed
The Highland House is a proud sponsor of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics. If you've made an appearance here at Kapco Park and you're still around, take your ticket across to the Highland House for $2 off any food or beverage. The Highland House is where the Falcons eat across the street. Jared Pfeiffer back to work against Will Randerson. And the first pitch to him is outside for a ball. The 1-0. Bounce to the hole at second. Diving stop Day. Gets up and throws in time. Nice play, Garrick Day. And there's 1 up and 1 down here in the Cougar fourth. They lead this one 2-0. They've picked up runs in the first and second. Have out-hit the Warriors 4-3. Here's Rich Santarelli, who swings and fouls one away back at the screen. It's 0-1. 0-1. In there for a strike. Off speed pitch from Pfeiffer that time. It's 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch and just missed low. Shane wanted that one, held it there for a couple of extra seconds, but to no avail. There's a line drive to center and caught by Vredebeld. There are 2 up and 2 down here in the Concordia Chicago fourth. They lead this one 2-0 over Wisconsin Lutheran. If Concordia Chicago wins this game, they will be declared the 2013 Northern Athletics Conference Tournament champions. If Wisconsin Lutheran wins, there's a strike to Steve Zabricki. If Wisconsin Lutheran wins, we will see you all here tomorrow, bright and early 10 a.m. for a winner-take-all game. Swinging a foul. And the count is even a 1-1.
You got it!
Wisconsin Lutheran and Concordia Chicago played the first game of this tournament. Chicago took care of business 6-3. There's a swing and a foul. Count goes to 1-2 on Zabricki. Wisconsin Lutheran able to stave off elimination a couple of times, beating Wisconsin, or I should say Concordia, Wisconsin, and Benedictine. The next pitch is swung on and fouled off. Count now 1-2 on Zabricki. Here it is. There's his swinging a low liner to right. That will fall in front of Sam Mathice. And Zabricki has his first hit. And we go back to the top of the order now for Joe Moran. Moran has walked, stole a base, scored a run, and doubled in this game. He scored the first run of the ball game for Concordia Chicago. Has Zabricki at first and 2 down. 2-0 our score. Pfeiffer throws over to first, and just back in time is Zabricki. Pfeiffer back to work, and he spikes one in the dirt. And Shane having trouble finding it, but it was right in front of him. And Zabricki stays put at first. Count is 1-0 to Joe Moran. Pfeiffer, quick move to first, and back is Zabricki again. Zabricki got a couple of more steps off that first base bag. That move a little bit closer than the first one. Pfeiffer ready, here it is. Swing and a miss, throw back to first, and not in time. Count is 1-1. Zabricki dancing around out there, first base bag. Pfeiffer and Sheen have been paying close attention to him over there. With 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-1 is lined to left and foul. Zabricki on the move. The count moves now to 1-2. Pfeiffer now over 70 pitches. Here's as he's pitched 3 2/3.
Yeah, I was gonna donate it, and then I'm like, I can't donate it because it has a little hole. Like somebody, like they might throw it out or something.
But 1-2, again a throw to first, and Zabricki is back. He's not going to want to be on the move after several throws over there to first base. Swinging a foul. And for Jared Pfeiffer, he's only thrown 8 1/3 on the year. And he's trying to get through his 4th inning of work. Making his first start of the year. He right now has Joe Moran at the plate. 1-2 count and 2 out. Moran fists one on the infield, and taking charge is Brandon Mance, the third baseman. He puts it away on the infield turf. And the Cougars pick up no runs on a hit and leave a runner. We've played 4 from Kapco Park. Concordia Chicago still leads it 2-0. WCSS basketball camps are entering their 13 summers in 2013. WCSS is more than most basketball camps. WCSS offers and accomplishes more at a lower cost per session. Visit WCSS-basketball.com for more information. For more information about the 5th, here's Matt Menzel.
I've not been around for 30 years, but close. Maybe not so much for expertise, WCC's basketball camps, but been here for 3 days at the NAC baseball tournament.
More information about the happenings on the field.
You tired yet?
You got to be more tired than I am.
It's only game 10. Hopefully we get a game 11 in here somewhere. But there's ball 1 delivered to Doug Martin as we go back to work here in the 5th inning with Ryan Thorson on the hill for Concordia, Chicago. And do note that in the previous 6 years, this one golfed to right. Joe Moran reaches up and puts it away to retire Martin. And there's one down with a 2-0 Concordia, Chicago advantage. But only twice in the previous 6 years of the NAC baseball tournament have we needed the winner-takes-all game. Last time that occurred was back in 2011 when Aurora lost to Concordia, Chicago, only to come back and beat Concordia, Chicago in the winner-takes-all game, 11-3. Ball lifted out of play over the first base stands. The only other occurrence, that came back in 2008, the second year of the NAC tournament, in which Concordia, Chicago beat Rockford, only for Rockford to come right back and beat Concordia, Chicago. So you see a common denominator in those previous 2 winner-takes-all games. Concordia, Chicago's been part of them. Part of this one here against Wisconsin Lutheran. Here's the 1-1. It's upstairs in the count now at 2 balls and a strike. But again, the Warriors right now, they find themselves down a couple. And they've gotten some good innings so far from Jared Pfeiffer. Ball missing down low on the count of 3 balls and a strike to Mitch Skarbin, the Warrior DH. 3 hits in the ball game for the Warriors. But they've yet to put together an inning yet where they've had multiple runners on simultaneously. That's count run full at 3-2. And the Cougars scored 1 in the first and 1 more in the second inning. There's a bouncer off the brick of the backstop area. Now again, Concordia, Chicago may be the common denominator in both of those previous winner-takes-all games. The difference is, though, they were the underdog, if you will, that needed to win 2 to win the championship, where now they're in the driver's seat this season. Unable to hold up, Skarbin, a strikeout, out number 2, and K number 4 for Thorson. I'll make that 3 for Thorson off his 53rd pitch, 35 for strikes. Love technology. That thing updated quicker than I could look. Brandon Mance, he will lift it up and out of play right field side. Mance is 0 for 14 thus far in the NAC tournament. We have our stat computer, and all of a sudden I thought 3 strikeouts, about to update to 4. It already updated in the blink of an eye. It's amazing what happens in a couple of years. Used to be it took 30 seconds for that to be updated. 1 ball and a strike here with Brandon Mance. Next offering. It's taken for a strike, and the count goes to 1-2 to the Warrior third baseman. Two down here in the 5th inning. Next offering is popped up in the infield. Everybody calling for it. But it's going to be the pitcher, Ryan Thorson, who takes charge. And the Warriors go 1-2-3. Well, I acclimate myself with the technology of 2013. We will step aside here in the middle of 5. It's 2-0 Concordia, Chicago.
Mike plays there. The Railcats
To the bottom of the 5th inning, a 2-0 lead for Concordia Chicago over Wisconsin Lutheran in this 2013 NAC Baseball Tournament Championship game. I mentioned earlier, worth mentioning again, a special shout out to our entire crew in and around Kapco Park for a job well done this year in playing host to the tournament, which may end right here or may end at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. But outstanding job by all that have put this together. Concordia, Wisconsin, the host. As a ball missing low and away with Sean Miller leading things off for the Cougars. Now, many have put many hours, weeks, maybe months into preparation for this 3-day event, possibly 4 days, as counting up at 1-1.
Well, yeah, you have to look at the fuel you
And again, been successful and a lot of great feedback from those that have made the trip up here to Mequon and have taken in the action here at Kapco. And the catch made by Garrick Day. Sean Miller retired, and there's 1 up and 1 down. Been a nice and well-attended 3 days of baseball here at Kapco Park. And battling Mother Nature in the process. And we have seen a number of upsets along the way as well. And here we are at number 1 against number 6 to determine who moves on to the NCAA representing the NAC. Garrick Day on the field. He retires Thomas Gear, another 4-3 put out, so back-to-back outs recorded by Garrick Day defensively. A nice pitching performance in avoiding elimination for the Warriors yesterday. So 2 down for Derek Benninger. He had a complete game performance against Aurora in what was another 5-1 final. First pitch lifted over the stand first base side. Benninger has picked up an RBI single. He's also singled. That came back in the third to raise his average to 354. The 0-1. And the count is even here at 1 ball and 1 strike. No, and the other thing, too, is it's, well, you host one of these events and a number of long days involved throughout. Not always easy, especially, too, when, in the case of Concordia, Wisconsin, you like to have a rooting interest in your team being here. In this case, this season, the Falcons able to get here. But then, okay, they're eliminated. And still, again, giving it everything you have, despite the fact, again, here you go. You don't have the Falcons involved. You have Concordia, Chicago, Wisconsin, Lutheran, regardless, still putting in the effort and put on a good show.
Oh, yeah, right?
And we get the game 10 and E and empty in the gas tank and still going strong some way, somehow. There'll be a lot of individuals on Mother's Day that'll be sleeping away the afternoon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a ball down low, count here at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Anybody that's hosted one of these events, whether it be baseball, softball, realizing the amount of work, the effort, the time, the commitment, students, staff, other sport coaches that it takes to make this successful. Your sports information department keeping up not only with, again, your team's games, but other teams' games. You have Adam Heinzen, the Wisconsin Lutheran Sports Information Director, volunteering his time to be the public address announcer and being neutral along the way for all 10 games, despite his team putting together quite a display these last 3 days. As Derek Benninger draws the walk. Starting to rain again here at Kapco Park. Steve Schauer, the Sports Information Director, his assistant Brian, who used to be at Wisconsin Lutheran.
He just corrected me. It's actually the Director of Athletic Communications.
That's what they're calling it today, but again, it's 2013. I'm having a tough time keeping up with technology and the new hip terms for Sports Information Director. There's Garrick Day retiring Kyle Huber over to Doug Martin, and I better get it right if I want a paycheck, as The Cougars with no runs, no hits, no errors, and Binninger left on base. We are through 5 in Game 10 over the last 3 days here from Kapco Park for the 2013 NAC Baseball Tournament. 2-0 Concordia Chicago over Wisconsin Lutheran. Our coverage of the 2013 NAC Baseball Tournament is brought to you in part by Mayfair Rent-A-Car, which prides itself in offering the best service and the best price at their definition of value. Mayfair Rent-A-Car is the official rental car supplier of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics. To the 6th inning we go. 6th and 7th inning play-by-play with Kevin Winter, another guy we have to thank. Same thing with Nathan Curter for tag teaming. All of us triple teaming to bring you the play-by-play of all 10 games these last 3 days. Kevin, take it away for innings 6 and 7.
Thank you very much, Matt Menzel. Big thanks to you for doing your job very well as well. Connor Radebeld will lead it off here in the 6th for Wisconsin Lutheran, and he swings and fouls one away.
See, we're getting all sappy and thanking everybody right now, but there's still a chance we will be back here tomorrow. And we'll do it again. Getting practice in now, you know. We'll master the thank yous tomorrow. And by then, we'll no longer call them sports information directors, but we'll get the name correct.
There's a ball taken low and outside, 2-1 to Radebeld.
It's only a 2-run game.
Anything to make the boss happy. There's a ball outside, count even at 2-2 to Radebeld. Here comes the 2-2, swung on, whistled foul, third base side. Ryan Thorson back to work. So far, 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs. 2-0 Concordia Chicago in front. 2-2 pitch, off speed and a beauty. Good pitch by Thorson. Had Radebeld out front. And he is retired for punch out number 4. And again, our wonderful piece of technology comes through again. One down here in the 6th inning. There's a ball off the outside corner to the top of the order in Garrick Day. The first pitch today is inside for a ball. And Thorson back to work again. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a 2-hopper to short. Weiss fields, throws, and gets him by a step. Good stretch over there at first by Binninger.
I'm not familiar with Wisconsin, but Richie or Michigan, Richie's girlfriend's from
And here's
I know like everybody.
Raisler, the batter. Aaron Raisler 0 for 2 today.
She's from like 6,000. She's in Oakland or something.
Okay,
So
that's actually fairly
I was gonna say she's like 6,000.
Yeah.
Raisler so far looking for his first hit. The pitch
Did you miss that memo?
is in there for a strike.
Oh yeah, you gotta go there for work.
Concordia Chicago has 2 runs on 5. They've left 6. There's a ball taken outside. Count even at 1-1 to Raisler. Wisconsin Lutheran has no runs on 3, leaving 2. Bounce it to second. Santarelli fields and throws, and that is a 1-2-3 frame for Thorson. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Concordia Chicago in front, 2-0.
Wow, it's nice with the sun out. Temporarily. Scoreboard's awesome.
That's what they want. They want the advertising revenue. They got it here. Several times now. You gotta say something.
Are you poking my Amy?
Oh, now she's defensive.
Bottom of the 6th inning we go from Kapco Park, 2013 Northern Athletics Conference Tournament. Concordia Chicago in front, 2-0. If Concordia Chicago can hang on, they will be crowned the 2013 tournament champions and move on to the NCAA tournament.
I know, right? I was thinking.
If Wisconsin Lutheran can come back as the number 6 seed, there's a ball taken up high to Robert Weiss, the leadoff man here in the 6th. If Wisconsin Lutheran can come back, they will force a game tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Bunt shown and taken for a strike. Count even at 1-1. Jared Pfeiffer has worked his longest outing of the year. 2-1 is the count now as he deals one off the outside corner. Pfeiffer 5 innings so far, 5 hits, 2 runs earned, and thrown now 88 pitches. Count is even at 2-2 to Robert Weiss. Chicago trying to tack on a few more insurance runs here. Pfeiffer trying to get his offense back to work. Off speed, swing and a miss. Weiss is retired on strikes, and that is the first strikeout of the afternoon for Pfeiffer. Will Randerson is the batter. But right now, if you're Wisconsin Lutheran offensively, you've been held at bay by a strong pitching performance by Mr. Thorson. Randerson bounces one toward first, and Pfeiffer's got to get over there. He does, but the ball does not end up in his glove. And we'll wait for the scoring on that one. It will be a base hit. And that's hit number 6 for Concordia Chicago. That'll bring up Rich Santarelli. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded to short in the 2nd and flied out to center in the 4th. Here in the 6th, this team is leading 2-0 with a runner at first. The pitch. There's a swing and a foul. Out of play. Bullpens are active. Wisconsin Lutheran has a right-hander throwing down the left field line. A little bit of stretching going on in the Concordia Chicago bullpen. Bounce to second, off the glove of Garrick Day that skips into center field. Garrick Day dove just a split second too late, kicked off the heel of his glove and flipped into shallow right, and that'll be a base hit for Santarelli. Great effort by Garrick Day that time as it kicked off the heel of his glove. But just like that, Concordia Chicago has 2 on and 1 out for Steve Zabricki. Zabricki 1 for 2 with an RBI. Zabricki with an RBI single in the 4th. And he may have a base hit here. He does up the middle. Here comes Bradebeld's throw to the plate. It is not in time. Knocking it down was Sheen, and Granderson scores from second base. Concordia Chicago has an insurance run and now lead it 3-0. 3 consecutive hits off of Jared Pfeiffer, who is making his longest outing of the year. 5 1/3. So far, 3 runs on 8 hits, as Concordia Chicago has tallied 3 consecutive singles, have runners at second and third and a chance to blow this thing open. It's now 3-0 as it stands. And now the home plate umpire is coming out to break up the discussion. And it appears that as of right now, Pfeiffer will be the man to face Joe Moran, the Cougar leadoff hitter. Moran 1 for 2 with a double and a stolen base. Moran scored the first run after a walk in the first inning to take a 1-0 Cougar lead. They picked up 1 more in the second and 1 more here in the 6th, but runners at second and third threatening with 1 out. The pitch is swung on and hit to the opposite field, foul. Right field side. Pfeiffer back to work. Here it is. Swinging a foul. Out of play. To the right again. And it's 0-2 on Joe Moran. Moran has Santarelli at third, Zabricki at second. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. A chance for Concordia Chicago to add a few more to their 3-0 lead. Pfeiffer's pitch is up high for a ball. And the count moves now to 1-2. Pfeiffer at 98 pitches right now. One, two. Swinging a bouncer to short, the infield playing in. And Raisler thought about trying to go home. Instead throws to first for the out. Santarelli scores on the 6-4 fielder's choice. And it's now 4-0. Concordia Chicago has expanded their lead. 2 down for Sean Miller. I should say 6-3 on the putout. Sorry for those of you scoring at home. And Miller swings and fouls one off his foot, and he takes a tumble in the batter's box. That pitch number 100 for Pfeiffer. And Miller will be given a second to collect himself here.
I couldn't keep the book and coach at the same time. I don't know how people would do that. I'm like, seriously?
I'd be like, I'd be 4 banners in and realize I ain't even done nothing.
I always had somebody do the book.
Runner at third is Zabricki. 2 down. 2 runs in. Concordia Chicago has a 4-0 lead. Sean Miller, the batter. The pitch. Swinging a pop-up. First base side. Drifting into foul territory and making the one-handed catch is Doug Martin. So a big inning for Concordia Chicago as they pick up 2 insurance runs on 3 hits. Leave a runner stranded 90 feet away, but we've played 6 from Kapco Park. 4-0 Concordia Chicago.
Here comes the rain. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Well, there goes Mickey. What a great year for him. I mean, he's worked the club, he's got that inside the Parker, and then he makes the game-saving catch. We lose that game. That game's over. The guy from first scored. We're only up by 2. Bases loaded.
Now playing left field for the Cougars, number 21, Nick Concordia.
All right, Nikki!
Top of the 7th inning here from Kapco Park. Wisconsin Lutheran to bat. And Concordia Chicago has the lead at 4-0. Defensive change in left field. Nick Contorno is now in left field.
You guys decided to save the picture.
And Sam Matthijs stands in. So far for Thorson, he has been Mr. Economicals. That pitch was number 71. Swinging a fly ball to right. Joe Moran puts it away. 1 up and 1 down. Yeah, for Thorson, 6 1/3, 71 pitches. Allowed 3 hits to this Warrior lineup.
We'll just take your word for it.
First pitch to Brett Youngbeck is also in there for a strike.
Our pitcher.
And so far,
Isn't there somebody over there?
Thorson has only gone to the 7th inning once so far this season. Swinging a foul out of play to the left. He did so the second start of the year against Bethany Lutheran back on the 10th of March.
Oh!
Inside, and Youngbeck is turned away. The 1-2 pitch is on the way. Inside, and that one is thrown behind, and it hit Youngbeck. Youngbeck moves to first base. Tyler Shane, the batter. He's 0 for 2 today. Struck out 1 of 4 punch-outs for Thorson this afternoon. The pitch is up high and away. Concordia Chicago in front, 4-0. Again, if Concordia Chicago takes this lead throughout the duration of the game, they will be the 2013 NAC tournament champs. Pitch is a strike, throw back to first, and a nice spear by Bittinger over at first base. He picked that one out of the turf, and Youngbeck just slid in safely. Good throw by Randerson back behind the runner. But Youngbeck able to get back. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Check swing, and they ask if he went. He did, says the first base umpire. And Shane is down. A strike. It's 1-2. Again, a throwback to first, and Youngbeck dives back in. Gets up a little bit gingerly off that first base bag. One down here in the 7th. Swinging a bouncer to the hole at short. Fielded by Weiss. He goes to second for one. Relay to first will not be in time. And there are 2 down here in the inning. That will bring to the plate Doug Martin. He's 1 for 2 today. Shane replaces Youngbeck at first. And Thorson back to work. He comes set. The left-hander deals. Off speed. Slowly hit. Third base line. Charging. Throwing. Zabricki is not in time. Wow. That was a heck of an effort by Zabricki. He had to charge that baseball a long way in to come get it. Barehanded. Threw on the go to first base. Bittinger dug it out. And now a discussion is going to be taking place with the first base umpire. That was a...
Come on, we only need one.
So it's going to go as an infield hit. And the Warriors have 2 on and 2 out for Mitch Garbin. Scarbin, the DH today. The pitch. He swings and fouls one straight back to the screen. Thorson now just over 80 pitches as he works here into the 7th inning. Warriors have 2 on and 2 out. Trying to get back into this ball game, trailing 4-0. Off speed strike and a beauty. Good pitch. On the outside corner. It's 0-2. Thorson ready. Here it is. Off speed. Again, bounce back to the pitcher. And Thorson will take it over to the bag himself and flip to Bittinger to finish the inning. The Warriors pick up a hit and leave 2. But we've played 6.5 from Kapco Park. Concordia Chicago in front, 4-0.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Who wants the umbrella? Got it? Please.
What is it when you put that umbrella down? What about chocolate? They still have hot chocolate.
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Pitching for Wisconsin Lutheran, number 39, Andrew Iverson. 39 Iverson, now pitching for the Warriors.
Do you think I have time during the washroom? I want to get one more of those programs.
New pitcher on the mound for Wisconsin Lutheran College. It'll be Andrew Iverson. He will be the next man up for the Warriors. And he will face Thomas Gear, the designated hitter. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. And the first pitch of the afternoon from Iverson is in there for a strike. On the year, Iverson making his 11th appearance as he deals a ball. Iverson making, as I said, his 11th appearance with a 5.40 earned run average. The 1-1 is up high, 2-1 to Thomas Gear. Gear today is 0 for 2 with a walk, grounded out and flied out. The 2-1 is also up high from Iverson. And the count moves to 3-1 on Gear. The pitch is in there for a strike. Concordia Chicago leads this one 4-0. As we play here in the bottom of the 7th, have out-hit the Warriors 8-4. The pitch. Swung on, fisted to third, backing up is Brandon Manson. He puts it away. And Iverson retires the first man to face him. Here's Derek Bittinger. He's had a good day. 2 for 2. A couple of singles and a walk, along with an RBI. First one to him. Curveball is missing off the inside corner. The next one is up high and away, deal by Iverson. And Bittinger moves ahead in the count, 2-0. Taking all the way is Bittinger, and it's 2-1. And the next delivery is missing low as well. And it's a hitter's count this time for Bittinger. 3-1. Iverson winds, and a pop-up. First base side now drifting into foul territory. A one-handed catch by Doug Martin. Nice play. And there's 2 down. Nice play by Doug Martin as the shadows start to creep in here at Kapco Park. The shadow of the light standard has made its way, stretching all the way across the home plate area into foul territory, first base side. Nick Contorno is making his first appearance as a hitter today. He came in as a defensive replacement in left field the last inning. The 1-0 is down low, and it's 2-0. Contorno on the year has a 200 batting average. The 2-0 didn't miss by much off the inside corner. But it's 3-0. Iverson ready again. Here it is. That one misses low, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Robert Weiss will be the batter now. He's 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs and a strikeout. 4-0 is our score. Concordia Chicago in front over Wisconsin Lutheran College. Concordia Chicago, the number 1 seed in this tournament, trying to take down the number 6 Wisconsin Lutheran College Warriors. Wisconsin Lutheran in just the second year of a 6-team expanded tournament. Lost this first game against Concordia Chicago. Concordia then ripped off 3 in a row to get back here and have a chance, but Concordia Chicago looking to set a program record for wins in a season with a win here today. That would be win number 36. Here's the pitch with the runner going. Huge jump for Contorno, and he steals the bag to move into scoring position with 2 down. That pitch was a strike, count even at 1-1. So now Weiss batting with a runner in scoring position. And now time is being called by Weiss as he readjusts his batting gloves in that right-handed batter's box. Iverson back to work in the dirt. Speared by Shane. Count moves to 2-1. Iverson trying to get his team back in the dugout. See if they can figure things out offensively. So far, they've been stymied today. 4 hits. There's a liner to third foul. For Concordia Chicago, trying to make it to the NCAA tournament for a second consecutive year.
Down, Joe. I know what umbrella down looks like.
Umbrella down, umbrella down.
Umbrella down.
Did so as an at-large bid a year ago. 2-2 is in the dirt and smothered again. Weiss has filled up the count at 3-2. 2 down. Contorno at second base. He gets his lead away and the pitch. He's running. Bouncer to third. Fielded by Mance while Contorno was just in front of his field of vision, but Mance able to make the play on the one-hop bouncer to retire the side. Concordia Chicago picks up no runs, no hits, but leaves a runner. We've played 7 from Kapco Park. It is Concordia Chicago 4, Wisconsin Lutheran nothing.
Yeah, you can go either way.
He's got no pitch limit, and he has a shutout. This guy's got no pitch limit? No, not this game. Yeah, pitch limit is last 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, and 45. That's the first thing is Dancy's got no pitch limit. And you know this guy will, he's old school, like most old school starters are like, get the hell out of here. I'm finishing. Right? 70s starters, 80s.
So do you think it's too late for hot chocolate?
No. No more sugar.
Freezing.
Yeah, you're driving home. You're like,
To the 8th inning we go. And to bring you home this evening, here's Matt Menzel.
All right, thank you, Kevin. A 4-0 lead for Concordia Chicago against Wisconsin Lutheran in this tournament championship game. And again, if Concordia Chicago is successful in winning this contest, it would wrap up the 2013 NAC baseball tournament. But a Wisconsin Lutheran victory, and we're playing a winner-takes-all game coming up on Sunday at 10 a.m. And for Wisconsin Lutheran leading things off will be Brandon Mance, the third baseman, as we are joined by the Concordia University of Wisconsin Athletic Director, Dr. Rob Barnhill, here up in our broadcast booth with Ryan Thorson going back to work. On the very first pitch, Joel Moran retires Brandon Manson. We have 1 down, but We've talked about it throughout the course of this game. A lot goes into this event, hosting this event. Certainly 10 baseball games over the course of 3 days. For those listening, kind of give us a clue on what goes into hosting from an AD standpoint.
Well, we leaned on a lot of people. We're blessed to have a great staff, and all of our people showed up, and they were very engaged and were very committed to the process. And we started on Wednesday with a thorough house cleaning and got everything ready for Thursday, starting off, obviously at 10 a.m. And we've just rotated our professional staff, and we've had a really good group of student staff here together. And it's a huge endeavor, but with the help of those folks, we pulled it off.
How far in advance did you know that the tournament was going to be hosted here?
We've known for 2 years. In fact, we were supposed to host it last year, but the stadium wasn't, as you know, wasn't completed in time, and we weren't sure if it would be completed in time. So we moved the tournament to Marion for 1 year, and so we have it we were awarded the bid last year for this fall, for this spring, and next spring.
As Connor Verdeville retired with Zubricki over to Derek Binninger, we have 2 down, back to the top of the order at Garrick Day. 4-0 Concordia Chicago here in the top of the 8th inning. You mentioned the ability now to host now for a number of years, but how about the weather too? That's been the big issue all spring long, and having this field turf, and okay, one game was postponed on Thursday, but again, for the most part, pretty much on schedule as is for these 3 days.
If we were not playing at this facility, we would be so far behind, and this tournament would have been moved into Sunday. The weather did not cooperate with us on Thursday, but like you said, we do have the turf field, and that's one of the reasons why we did it, was to ensure that we'd have 100% playability.
What's been the overall response that you've heard from whether it be the fans, the players, the coaches, the teams? What's the overall response and how this event has gone and how the field is played here these last 3 days?
Everyone likes the stadium. Everyone loves the facility. They would like for us to turn the heat up. They'd like the weather to be a little warmer. That's almost to a person. I've heard that request. But everyone seems to think that everything's gone well. The fans have reacted positively. The participants have been positive with one another. There's been quite a few really good examples of sportsmanship out here, and everybody's been cordial. So I think everybody's going to walk away with it with a good feeling. And I think, behind the scenes there's some things we're going to have to fix. But at the front of the house, it didn't show, and so we're really excited about the way things came off.
Garrick Day flies out to Sean Miller, and Wisconsin Lutheran goes 1-2-3 as we hit the bottom of the 8th. A 4-0 Concordia Chicago lead, and being joined by Concordia University Wisconsin Athletic Director Dr. Rob Barnhill. Got to be exciting, too, from an athletic director's standpoint, that of the 6 teams here, Concordia Wisconsin being one of them, that was a team that was not expected to be among the 6, but got in that last weekend. Yeah,
I was proud of the boys' effort, and I'm glad that we were in it. You do all of this work. You want to have the host team in the tournament. I'm disappointed that we didn't advance and reach further in day 2, but that's part of it. That's the way it goes, and I'm happy to see the baseball being played at the level that it's being played. We're fortunate again to have this facility. Next year we're hosting this tournament, and then the week after that we're hosting the Horizon League baseball tournament. So we're excited about that, and moving forward, I think we'll put in for an NCAA regional a couple years from now.
And we talk about what a blessing this field has been, and just allowing the season to take place here this spring really is remarkable when you stop and think about the last number of years. But there were times where Concordia was the team that was looking for a field to call home for games, and now all of a sudden everybody's calling Concordia to play here.
Well, Val Kuiper's been our baseball coach for a long time. He's been on campus for 20-plus years. Pete Janan, the director of athletics at Concordia University Chicago, was with us for a long time. And, we spent some time yesterday remarking about how far we've come. One of the officials was laughing about the fact that we used to have a snow fence as our outfield fence, and you couldn't tell if the ball bounced over it, bounced through it. I mean, there were players that chased down fly balls and ran through the snow fence. At one game, we didn't have a way to – the kid ran through it and broke it, so the kid had to stand out there and hold it together with his hands because we didn't have a way to get it put back together. We played our games over in West Bend. It was an embarrassment for many years, but, if you're going to wait for something, this is what you wait for. So we've been rewarded.
As we speak, Sam Mathias now pitching for Wisconsin Lutheran. Taking his spot out in right field is Matt Gowan, and the batter is Will Randerson for Concordia Chicago. And a 4-0 lead for the Cougars. And we talked about, Concordia Wisconsin was here. Overall, as you mentioned, just great baseball, though. We've seen great games throughout, a couple of upsets along the way, and here we go, 1-6. And again, this has been another great one for the fans to be treated to.
Yeah, it has been good baseball. Now, if you're a fan of the long ball, this wasn't for you.
No.
Okay, I mean, hitting a home run in this park is hard, and it's hard enough and difficult enough on a good day. But with the wind that we've had, it's been prohibitive. So we've seen a lot of small ball, but it's been good baseball.
Next pitch there, a ball on the count here at 2 balls and 1 strike. So you've done watching baseball now for a while?
I just was telling some of the other administrators over there that I'm going to leave this game, put everything away, and I'm going to go home and watch playoff hockey. That's my plan for the evening. I personally do not care to see another inning of baseball today.
Or for probably a couple of days.
Probably not going to watch any tomorrow either.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I mean, I love baseball like the next man, but 10 games is a lot of baseball.
It's a lot of baseball. And we've seen some quick games, and we have seen some games that have dragged out throughout the course of these 3 days.
Well, we started the day needing to satisfy 162 outs, and we are steadfastly closing in on that number.
Now, not that you guys have a rooting interest, but I'm going to venture to guess if you don't have to play that necessary game.
Oh, I have a rooting interest in that. I have a rooting interest in wanting to be home tonight. I do. I have a rooting interest in that. I mean, how it turns out for those teams down there, I could care less, really. I mean, I'm just happy they're playing well and that they're here and they're having a great experience. But it's been a long 4 days.
Trying to stretch a single into a double.
Oh, he missed it.
Doing just that is Will Randerson. Heck of an effort by Brett Youngbeck, but Randerson able to get in there with a double, never even thinking about stopping at first. And he has himself a triple, an infield single, and now a double, part of a 3-for-4 performance for the Concordia Chicago catcher. And now it's Dave Reinemann's turn to come out and talk with first base umpire Bob Jenkins. Boy, these umpires have been busy too. You have 2 sets that have been working and alternating all 10 games. And
yeah.
We talk about being emotionally drained. How about being a good guy in blackout here and all these games so emotionally charged, and again having to be out there and being on top of your game time and time again despite maybe 6 to 7 hours worth of work. And again, Dave Reinemann talking with Bob Jenkins. The batter's going to be Rich Santarelli. How about from a Concordia, Wisconsin standpoint as a whole, the athletic department as a whole, as the sports calendar nearing an end, what's the focus during the offseason? You guys go forward looking ahead now to the 2013-14 school year.
Well, we basically finish up the school year here this week coming up, and we have tennis just back from the NCAA tournament. The women's golf team is down in Florida competing in the NCAA national tournament, so we get them back here, and we'll officially be at a close for sporting events. We'll do all of our budget reconciliation stuff and then start looking forward to the fall. You know how it goes. It's always next year, right? It's the great thing about athletics. It's always next year.
No question about that. And as mentioned, Rich Santarelli digging into that right batter's box. And I know you got to get going because obviously pretty soon you're going to be down there and presenting the championship trophy.
That is the hope.
To Concordia,
yes,
Chicago.
That is the hope.
As opposed to getting back up and being back here at 10 in the morning on Sunday. But I just want to give you an opportunity real fast to just thank those involved, and then I'll let you get going and then go on with your duties.
Well, I do want to say a big thanks to all the people that were behind the scenes or out at the front of the house doing the work. We could not have put this on without our professional staff, the student staff. I want to thank the fans for being respectful and for showing up. It has been some adverse weather. I want to congratulate all the participants for making the tournament. There are a lot of administrators here, too. I want to thank them for being here and showing their support for these kids. This comes at a great cost for some. Some miss graduations. This is some of this is during finals. It adds a little stress that way. So for a culminating event, we hope to put our best foot forward, and I think we did. Hats off to you guys in the broadcast booth for doing a great job. I was listening to you from time to time when I could. So it's been a great time. I hope everybody drives home safe. Hope everybody out there listening has enjoyed the broadcast, and we'll see you all next year.
Santarelli picks up a base hit. Dr. Barnhill, thanks again for your time, and another feather in the cap for Concordia, Wisconsin, off another great job hosting this event here these last 3 days. And Concordia, Chicago right now, at least from a defensive standpoint, 3 outs away from bringing home what would be their second ever NAC tournament championship victory. So Will Randerson at third base, Santarelli with a base hit. Runners at the corner, nobody out. And Steve Zuperki will be the batter. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. He has a couple of runs batted in. I love it. As blunt as he is, talking about, oh, we got a rooting interest. There's a bunt first base side, and the tag applied by Tyler Shane. Will Randerson, he came home, and he's out. So Steve Zubricki laid it down, but right there was Sam Mathies. He threw it home, and Tyler Shane able to apply the tag and retire Will Randerson, with Rich Santarelli advancing to second base. So a sacrifice bunt turned into a fielder's choice. So a fielder's choice. 1-2 on the putout. One down. Now the ball skipping into the backstop. Advancement to third base for Santarelli, and Zubricki taking second base. This on a wild pitch. So second and third with one down. Joel Moran, top of the order at the plate. 4-0 Concordia, Chicago. We're in the bottom of the eighth inning with one down. Infield drawn in. So that ball deflects off the glove of Tyler Shane.
I think sometimes he doesn't have, I don't know if he has a coach's mentality in certain situations, but I don't know.
And again, Santarelli, your lead runner, the 2-ball, no-strike pitch from Mathies. Third pitcher used by the Warriors in this game after Pfeiffer went 6. Iverson lasted 1, and Mathies has now thrown 14 pitches, 6 for strikes. 3-0 the count. Inside for ball 4. Bases loaded with one down. Sean Miller, the batter. No, I do love that part, though, Kevin. We're talking with Dr. Rob Barnhill, the athletic director here at Concordia, Wisconsin. Real blunt. I mean, who's he trying to impress in the sense that, and he's speaking what everybody else is thinking as far as those neutral viewers that, you don't have to play the 11th game. So be it.
I mean, you got to still give a lot of credit to Wisconsin Lutheran for what they've done. I mean,
if you would have played it, then you would have played it. So
right.
But it has been a lengthy 3 days. Lots of baseball. You're a baseball fanatic. You tired of baseball for at least a day?
At least a day tops. But if I didn't have to throw finals week on top of it, I would be absolutely soaking this up.
This up the middle. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Santarelli in to score. Not far behind. Zubricki's going to score. A 2 RBI single for Sean Miller with Miranda second base. And all of a sudden it's now 6-0 Concordia, Chicago. And you can just tell by looking at that first base dugout, looking in the stands, they can sense it, they can feel it. They're getting that much closer to bringing home their second ever NAC tournament championship. So as more insurance runs in with Santarelli and Zubricki. But you're right, a great run by Wisconsin Lutheran. Who would have thunk it as a number 6 seed that they would be in this position? There's a foul ball at the netting. We talked about the lack of success for teams out of Wisconsin in this tournament.
And oh, by the way, they needed help to get in. If it wasn't for
the regular season, you're right.
They needed help to get into this tournament, and they've taken full advantage of it. So huge hats off to everybody on this Warriors ball club.
But the Cougars have been the team to beat. And their strike to Thomas Gear running the count now 0-2, and they've only lost twice in their last 27 tries, twice to the Warriors. And both of these teams on the verge of program records for wins in a single season. The 0-2, that missing on the outside. You factor too the ace of the Wisconsin Lutheran staff out with injury. We'll be back next year as that ball deflects off the glove of Mance. Looking to apply the tag, unable to do so. The bases are loaded. And now coming over to argue the call is first baseman Doug Martin. Now he turns to talk to Bob Jenkins after Mike McClune would not listen. And now Dave Reineman coming out as well. So some way, somehow, Mance missed applying the tag off the advancement from Joe Moran to third. Miller over to second base. Base is loaded. And we'll see how this one is scored with Thomas Gear reaching first base. But a fielder's choice attempt that went awry off the attempted tag by Brandon Mance to apply, with Moran advancing from second to third.
Oh, he wasn't all the way over there.
And apparently the conversation nearing an end, but with one down, Derek Binninger will be the batter. He is 2 for 3. He has walked, picked up an RBI, singled again, and is hitting .352 on the season.
Come on, D, let's go, kid. Toss him.
Explanation point. Get him out of here.
All right, so the conversation now complete.
You go.
As Wisconsin Lutheran, at least offensively once again, will at least position first baseman Doug Martin on the infield grass. The middle infield plays back. Now they're creeping up a little bit. And playing parallel to the third base bag is Brandon Mance. To the batter's box goes Derek Binninger. There is, well, looks like there's about to be some activity in the Concordia Chicago bullpen. I'm not sure if that's to keep Ryan Thorson loose. He's been effective. He's been efficient. There's a hit by pitch.
Right in the head?
7-0 Concordia Chicago.
Certainly hope not.
Joe Moran able to score. Miller to third. Gear to second base. And now the 8th batter of the inning, Nick Contorno. Contorno walked, stole a base, left at second, back in the 7th inning.
You missed a lot, Heather.
Second time that Joe Moran has touched home. Another conference on the hill. A
Or is that Randy?
tough inning for Sam Mathies. He just came in. Pitching-wise, only his 9th appearance, but then again, he has been in relief on 4 separate occasions, coming in with a 1-win, 2-loss record of 4.85 ERA.
What'd you end up getting, the medium?
2 saves, 29 and 2/3 innings pitched.
So it wasn't an option.
Have allowed 20 runs, 16 earned on 28 hits, 17 strikeouts, 23 walks. And the opposition batting .262 against.
No, I said maybe I can see one. Since the last
Well, BJ Weisflog will be the pinch runner over at second base for Thomas Gear. That's been a reoccurring theme throughout this tournament as far as Weisflog making an appearance.
Yeah, last weekend it was so warm.
And a ball down low.
Like for today,
That to Contorno.
so I went to the bookstore and bought a t-shirt. And I
I'll tell you what, Kevin, a 7-0 lead now for Concordia Chicago. And here's the 1-0. It's low and away. Able to respond with a 3 spot. This has been, at times, a very aggressive offense. An impressive offense. There's a called strike, and there really isn't a whole 1 through 9 in that lineup. Everybody has contributed a little bit here and there throughout the course of this tournament.
Well, they've been the team to beat all year long, and they have certainly showed it.
A ball that misses as Concordia Chicago on the verge of qualifying for the NCAA tournament for the 3rd time in 5 years. They won the NAC tournament back in 2009. They went the simple route that year. Won 3 straight, 3-0. Done. See ya. Championship. Counting here 3 balls, 2 strikes, and they've taken that same route this time around. Okay, 4 games, win 4 straight. See ya. NAC tournament championship, the Cougars' direction. 3 balls, 2 strikes your count. Mathies pitch. That bounces away. What was ball 4? In the score is Sean Miller.
well, they weren't going to steal 2 more.
Weisflog to third.
Like the third guy on third.
Binninger to second. A base hit now ends this game by way of the 10-run rule.
Yeah, but
So Contorno picks up an RBI as he walks in both of his plate appearances. And now Robert Weiss, 9th batter to bat here in the inning. He finds himself at 0 of 4. His average to 329. Sent back and out of play. The bullpen empties for Concordia Chicago.
It's the
But not often we have seen Weiss go 0 for anything throughout the last few days. But opportunity here to put an end to the ball game half an inning early.
It's a gutsy ass play. 8 hitters on pitch. Strike out going after a ball. Tags up and takes second.
The 0-1.
It is. It was the and then I'm looking at that.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Does that once a year or so, I guess.
This will be the 36th victory of the year for Concordia Chicago, surpassing the program record of 35 set back in 2011. There's a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Here comes another off the throw from Gowan, and the stop sign put up back to third. Goes Bittinger, but B.J. Whiteflog able to touch home to make it 9-0. Concordia Chicago. A 5 spot here in the 8th. RBI single for Robert Weiss. And now Will Randerson, who doubled to start the inning, out at the plate, the only out, with the infield drawn in, trying to put an end to the ball game here in the 8th. You look at the history of this championship game. There have been a couple that have ended early by way of the 10-run rule. Most recently, Aurora beating Edgewood back in 2010. Infield fly, and the ball is put away by Doug Martin. That retires Randerson. He's been both outs in the inning. And now Rich Santarelli. He has singled twice. He is officially 2 for 4 in the ball game. Bittinger at third base. Mathies comes set. A ball and no strikes to Santarelli. His average up to 266. 9 runs on 12 hits for the Cougars. No runs, 4 hits for the Warriors. And the play is made by Garrick Day to move this game to the 9th. A 5 spot here in the bottom of the 8th for Concordia Chicago, and they enhance their lead now to 9-0.
The ball doesn't really slip through the infield like you think. Yeah, definitely. To the parents? Yeah, let's go. Let's make our way down there. But I didn't realize that the girls softball at NCAA was the head turn. You got an umbrella back there? You're right.
Oh no, so got popcorn back here too. Here's her water bottle. Yes, I will.
Hey, but they switch or no? They probably won't, man.
To the top of the 9th inning, last chance time for the 6th-seeded Wisconsin Lutheran College Warriors. 9-0 in favor of Concordia Chicago. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. 2 in the 6th inning and a 5 spot in their half of the 8th. Strike 1 delivered to Aaron Raisler. High and away as Thorson back to work. What a job he has done. 93 pitches, 62 strikes, no runs, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and no walks coming into this 9th. A ball high and away. Wisconsin Lutheran used 3 pitchers, beginning with Jared Pfeiffer. He threw 101 pitches in 6 innings. Andrew Iverson lasted 1 inning, threw 21 pitches. There's a grounder to short. Robert Weiss retires Raisler, and there's 1 up and 1 down. 9-0 Concordia Chicago in front. And the right fielder turned pitcher checked that. It is going to be Sam Mathies, who is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. And Mathies pitched the 8th inning. He threw 34 pitches, allowing 5 runs, all earned on 4 hits, no strikeouts, and a couple of walks. He now delivers a 1-out single. So hit number 5 for the Warriors. But Pfeiffer in line for the defeat. Thorson in line for the victory. As the Cougars on the verge of beating the Warriors twice here in the tournament after being swept by Wisconsin Lutheran during the course of the regular season. Ball up high, and just in case, activity in the Concordia Chicago bullpen in a moment. As Thorson has hit 97 pitches. The 1-0, up and in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0, missed on the outside. In fact, when the Warriors beat Concordia Chicago during the regular season, they did so for the first time since April 15, 2008. But Concordia Chicago on the verge of winning the 10th meeting over the last 12 against the Warriors, but it's not going to come without some noise being made by Wisconsin Lutheran as the walk is drawn by Brett Youngbeck. Mathies to second base. 1 out for Tyler Shane. He is flown out, he is struck out, he is grounded into a fielder's choice. Thorson. 0-1, the count to Shane. Again, the middle infield creeping in a couple of steps. Next offering on the outside, the counting it up at 1-1. Shane's batting average at .225. That following the 0 for 3 start to this day. One ball and a strike. That's just over the glove, but could be 2. The 4-3 double play, Concordia Chicago, your 2013 Northern Athletics Conference Baseball Tournament champions. Santarelli to Binninger, the double play, the game ender, and Concordia Chicago, the NAC tournament champion for a second time in program history, and for the first time since 2009, they're headed to the NCAA tournament for the second consecutive year, and for the third time in the last 5 seasons. Your final score, Concordia Chicago 9 and Wisconsin Lutheran 0. Concordia Chicago with 9 runs on 12 hits, no errors and 11 left on base. Wisconsin Lutheran with no runs on 5 hits, no errors and 5 left on base. A double play ball grounded into by Tyler Shane. Santarelli on the flip over to Binninger puts an end to the ball game. As Youngbeck and Shane retire, the final line of that 9th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Concordia Chicago with the victory, a new program record, 36 W's. They improved to 36-5. They've now won 14 consecutive games. They have won 26 of their last 28. As Wisconsin Lutheran's magical run coming to a close, their season comes to a close at 20-17. The 20 victories, a program record for wins in a year. Winning pitcher, Ryan Thorson, improved to 3-0. He lasted the whole game. He threw 103 pitches, 65 strikes, no runs on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. The loss goes to Jared Pfeiffer. He drops to 0-1. He lasted 6 innings, allowing 4 runs, all earned on 8 hits, 1 strikeout, and 3 walks. Note that Andrew Iverson and Sam Mathias also pitched in this 2-hour and 14-minute ball game. Concordia Chicago scored 1 in the first, added 1 in the second, added 2 in the 6th inning, 5 in the 8th to win it 9-0. A 2-hit performance for Derek Bittinger. He went 2 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in. Will Anderson went 3 of 5. He was a home run shy of the cycle. He scored twice. Rich Santorelli scored twice. He was 2 for 5. And Steve Zubricki went 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in plus a run scored. Also 2 RBIs for Sean Miller, who was 1 of 5 with a run scored. Also an RBI for Joe Moran, Nick Conterno, and Robert Weiss. Kevin, your final thoughts as Concordia Chicago, for the second time in program history, they win the NAC Baseball Tournament Championship. In fact, the number 1 seed wins the NAC Tournament Championship for the 4th time in 6 tries. As the Gatorade jug about to go flying, I'm going to venture to guess Adam Smith's direction, the 2013 NAC Coach of the Year.
Does he see it? Does he see it?
But yeah, your thoughts on the run for Concordia Chicago, going a perfect 4-0 with a win on Thursday, a win on Friday, and 2 victories here today.
Well, there he goes. They just got him with the Gatorade bath. But, Concordia Chicago, I mean, to set a program record for wins with 36 now, they were the team to beat in this tournament. And this whole weekend has been a great experience for all involved, myself included. Thank you, Matt, for all of your work. I think we saw a couple of really good games early on Thursday, a couple of really good games, a couple of teams putting on some late inning rallies, some heroics yesterday. We battled the rain, we battled the elements, but everybody all involved did a heck of a job making sure we were able to play and on time. And it's been a pretty good experience for Concordia, Wisconsin, hosting this tournament for the first time. And congratulations to Concordia Chicago on picking up this championship here in 2013.
So 10 games in the book. We are done. No more baseball. 2013 NAC Tournament champions, the top-seeded Concordia Chicago Cougars. They will continue to play baseball next week with the NCAA regionals. After last year, they would go on and they would find themselves 0-2. They were 0-2 in the NCAA tournament in 2009 as well. But look at a little to rewrite history this time around and take a page from Aurora's book, who had their struggles the first couple of visits to the NCAA tournament before bouncing back last year and making some noise. We'll see what the Cougars have in store, but we saw some great pitching from the Cougars. And as we've talked about, it's an aggressive team. 1 through 9, it doesn't matter who in that lineup. It seems like everybody contributed in one way or another. And they are going to be a tough team to beat no matter who they draw for a team that goes in with a 14-game winning streak.
Indeed. This team, one of the more complete teams we've seen all year long, up and down this lineup, as you said, up and down the Northern Athletics Conference schedule. And should be a fun ride for everybody down in River Forest.
So as Concordia Chicago continues to celebrate at Concordia, Wisconsin, we bid you farewell. On behalf of Nathan Kerner, Kevin Winter, our entire crew, behind the scenes, great job all weekend long. As mentioned, 10 games in the book. And congratulations to the top-seeded Concordia Chicago Cougars on a 36-5 season to date. And again, bringing home their second ever NAC Tournament Championship, their first since 2009, and they are back to the NCAA tournament for the 3rd time in 5 years with this tournament championship victory over Wisconsin Lutheran, who had a Cinderella run of their own. The final score, 9-0. Matt Menzel saying so long. Good night from Kapco Park on the Concordia University campus here in Mequon, Wisconsin. Happy Mother's Day, one and all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until next school year, you've been listening to continuing coverage of Division III college athletics via the Concordia University, Wisconsin Sports Network. So long, everybody.